Hey beauties, good evening to you. So I was watching the news this evening, and there is this man that I know cordially, somebody that you say, "Hi, how you doing? How is everything?" Dr. Wayne Henry. And he was doing a presentation on the poverty level of Jamaica or Jamaicans, Jamaica's inhabitants. And he said in 2021, the poverty rate went up to 16.7%. Incidentally, in Jamaica, poverty is measured by consumption rather than salary. It is a good thing because beautiful Jamaican people, if it were ever judged on the basis of salary, we would be below the dirt. We would be below the earth. It could not even be mentioned. It would be a travesty of justice. It would be beyond evil. He was saying that the highest, which would more move into the rural area, went up to 21 point something or other, almost 22%, some 19 point whatever percent, and so on, when he was showing the chart. And yes, we know the indigents tend to center more in the rural areas, but you have some urban areas that are suffering greatly and gravely. And it now begs me to ask the question, Dr. Clark, Minister of Finance and Public Service, servicing the public. When you mentioned today, when you were asked the question about raising the income tax threshold, that Jamaica cannot basically manage that because we need to also look at the fact that there were some gains. I want to know what gains you're talking about. Because a presentation was done by a man that I respect, as I said, I know cordially, Dr. Wayne Henry, wherever it is, to show that poverty has increased in 2021. We're now in 2023. I would love to see what the statistics will bring. I would love to see what the statistics will bring. Has gone up to 16.7%. The World Health Organization earlier this year, I think, or late last year, but I think it was earlier this year, said that the bare minimum that a person should survive on daily, and it was quoting in Jamaican dollars, is $1,025 per day. This is just food we're talking about. So we can't bring that is why I said the poverty level cannot be measured by salary, or it would be, let me tell you, we'd probably have to call for some other law enforcement officers across the globe, because they would say, what? This is below human level, below animal level. Not even the mangy dog should be treated like this. $1,025 per day. There are people who are not earning that monthly. When you add up $1,025 per day, there's some people who are still not earning that monthly. That is just food we're talking about. We're not talking about other amenities, bills that need to be paid, whether home ownership or rent, catching, whatever it is, buying clothes. Because the three basic things, especially has to be either replenished, renovated, or something. Food on a more frequent basis, clothes, sometimes invariably, depending on the type or quality. And, shelter, you have to take care of your home. Sometimes some things need to be repaired. So those three, there's no choice but to focus on those three. Plus, when you drop a car in it, or whether public transportation. So they're right. When they cannot measure it, they know why they couldn't measure it in this third world, third place country that seemed to can't move from bronze level. The bronze country. The bronze country. You guys had labeled Merlin Otti the bronze queen. And as if to say, I know she probably didn't feel good about that, knowing that she was much more gifted. But it's indicative of the country. It is synonymous with the country. It's a bronze country too, as far as I'm concerned. Although they're on two different ends of the spectrum and it's two different things. In 2021, the poverty has increased to 16.7%, and I know it has increased in 2021. I know it has increased in 2021. In 2023, sorry. My God. My heart broke when I saw it. When I was watching it, I'm saying, Can you believe that we're really having this conversation in 2023, in this 21st century, as though we're back of the world? As though there's a saying that Jamaican has about behind God, the back of God, or so. It's as though that's where we are. That poverty has increased, and yet we're dubbed as Little America. And it makes no sense we make comparison to say, oh, America has their issues. A big country can drop Jamaica there 1,000,000 times over even in one state. Jamaica would get lost, cannot be found. They could do away with Jamaica if you were to drop it in some states, much more the entire America. So there's no comparison there. At least they have certain little benefits that can help you. If you have the unemployment, you have the food stamp, they provide proper, fairly, depends on where you are, decent housing. I mean, there are certain benefits. You have the that stipend, but well, much better than a stipend that they get. That money thing that they give, stimulus package. The only stimulus them have, say you better stimulate yourself with a hot cup of tea or some food. Stimulus package in this country. Poverty. We're having a conversation after 61 years of so-called emancipation, and then a few days later, independence. My goodness gracious. It's more than just to say it breaks my heart. I cannot even believe that I'm really having a conversation about it. And then when I heard the Minister of Finance talk about, oh, Jamaica should be aware of the gains. So I want to know what gains. Because if you're talking about gains, we're going to talk about human resources. We're going to talk about how it benefits the entire or the masses. Let us put it that way. If you don't want to say the entire populace of Jamaica, the masses. I said, my God, what a presentation to see at this time. What a presentation to see. That Lord, help us, Jesus. I'm wondering if the leaders of our land are aware of what is really happening in Jamaica. Or you're aloof to what is happening, leaders. Are you aware of what is happening? Are you comfortable with that type of leadership, that type of governance? I don't know. You don't want stars in your crown? You're okay with just passing through this life to be known as a not good and ineffective and inefficient leader? Even with all of your accolades? Even with all of your educational attainment? You don't want to know that you have impacted positively the lives of people outside of your immediate families and friends? You're comfortable with going down as the worst leaders, the worst government, the worst. You're comfortable with that? I'm really asking, because I can't comprehend it, Honestly, I cannot comprehend it. There is no way that I would be given something to, if first of all I have to be called to do it. It has to be something that God has to move upon me. And believe you me, I'm going to give it my best shot. Because I'm going to, first of all, I have to employ the greatest commandment, which is to love the Lord my God with all of my heart, with all of my soul, with all of my mind, with all of my strength. And part B, I have to join the other part, to love my neighbor as myself, to treat others the very same way I want to be treated. And it doesn't mean that it is not indicative of imperfection. Yes, I'm imperfect. Will I make mistakes? Of course. That's not what we're talking about. Every great leader has made mistakes. Every last one of them. But their good far outweighs the bad. They go down in history as history makers, world changers. They're the heads and not the tails. They're above only, never beneath. They give, not take, and take, and take, and drain, and drain, and drain the people of the country or whomever it is that they lead. And this is also goes for church people, workplace people, homes. If you're comfortable going down as a worst leader, worst boss, I don't even like the word boss, workplace leader, church leader, house leader, as in your home with a mother, father, guardian. Guys, follow me on TikTok. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. Please share this message.